It's a range of punishment, and it'll be in the province of the judge, whoever gets the case. But it could be from 0 all the way to life in prison.
What happens when a rapper who just got out of jail decides to rob the man who made him famous? Pooh Shiesty had a successful career, a second chance, and an ankle monitor. He threw all 3 away in one afternoon, and the proof he left behind was so funny. Pooh Shiesty, the OG who put him on, walked out of jail in October 2025 with an ankle monitor and a second chance at life. 5 months later, he got a whole new case. This time, he is accused of running up on the man who signed his checks. There was a lot of talk on the streets, but the feds were listening more closely. Lantrell Donald Williams Jr. was born on November 8, 1999, in Memphis, Tennessee. He worked hard to get into the city's drill scene in the late 2010s.
Supersede indictment, man. This the indictment out the original indictment, so we got indicted twice. So they smacked us with more charges, nigga.
Memphis rap has always been its own thing. Raw, uncut, with a lot of bass and pain. Shiesty was a perfect fit for that. His song Hell Night with Big 30 in 2019 really got people talking about him, and the buzz was real. By the middle of 2020, Gucci Mane, the original trap god who had been supporting young Southern artists for more than 10 years, came calling. On June 19, 2020, Shiesty signed with Gucci's 1017 Records, which are distributed by Atlantic. Their collaboration, which is still going strong, made it official. The mentor-protege relationship was set in stone.
Thinking that shit would break us or make us conspiracy to possess firearms in front of the drug trafficking, violent crimes. The 3 other sided U.S.
And Shiesty was the chosen one. Gucci was working with 1017 on something that was part artist development and part street credibility branding. Shiesty was supposed to be the main focus of the whole thing. The come-up happened quickly. Shiesty's 2021 mixtape Shiesty Season went platinum, and his song Back in Blood with Lil Durk was a hit everywhere. That record was everywhere, on the radio, on streaming services, and on social media. Gucci put a lot of money into Shiesty.
Some wild horse who can go out on the prairie and just go, do whatever you want to other wild horses.
Putting him on So Icy Summer and making him the face of the new 1017. It seemed like the plan was working for the culture. Gucci finds the talent, helps the artist grow, and everyone gets paid. That is the label game when it works. Gucci's whole plan after prison was to sign real Southern street talent and make 1017 a powerhouse again.
Oh, you are a ward of the state. You still have to be where you're supposed to be. Otherwise, they can put you back in prison. Period. Hard stop.
And since Shiesty went platinum right away, the plan was working better than anyone had hoped. But the streets kept pulling. In October 2020, Shiesty caught armed robbery and shooting charges down in Florida. Then a strip club situation in Miami in 2021 added more smoke. In January 2022, he took a plea on federal firearms conspiracy and got hit with 63 months. He did roughly 3 years locked up in a Pennsylvania federal joint.
I heard about it from a bunch of people before it really got elevated to the status of being, sort of something that every rap fan knew about.
Even from behind the wall, he dropped Shiesty Season certified in 2022 and Gucci was still on the track list. The bond between artist and label looked solid from the outside. The music was still coming out.
I mean, I do feel like if it had no truth to it, that Gucci would have debunked it more forcefully.
The checks were still clearing. Whatever tension existed between them had not boiled over yet. Shiesty got released to home confinement in October 2025 with an ankle monitor strapped to his leg. Supervised release is not freedom. You have a PO watching your every move. You have a curfew. You cannot leave the jurisdiction. You cannot touch a firearm. You cannot catch any new charges. Period. Violate any of those conditions and you go straight back to the box.
The victim overheard Williams talking on his cell phone with a probation or parole officer, stating that his caseworker had given him permission to be out for rec time.
No questions asked. No second chances. The government owns your time and your movement until that supervision period ends. After his release, word started circulating that he was unhappy with the 1017 deal. The money, the royalties, the creative restrictions, the recruitment.
What the victims could hear, Williams was informed that this was not the case, that he needed to return immediately. Williams Jr. agreed.
The streets were buzzing about Yo Gotti's CMG records showing interest. Memphis and Atlanta have always had that quiet rivalry, and a move from Gucci's camp to Gotti's camp would have been a major power shift in Southern rap politics.
Felon in possession of a firearm. Okay, if it's a 924C, it's a 5-year mandatory minimum. But if it's used in connection with a crime, it's a 10-year mandatory minimum.
But Gucci was not about to let his biggest artist slide. He had put in the work, invested the money, and built Shiesty's name from a local Memphis act into a national star. That contract was staying put. In October 2024, Gucci had already cleaned house at 1017, dropping most of his roster for profit and loss reasons, but keeping Shiesty and Fujiano. Out of everybody on the label, Shiesty was one of only 2 that Gucci chose to hold on to. That is supposed to mean something. That is supposed to be loyalty. The OG telling the young boy, "I still believe in you. I still want to build with you." For Shiesty, it apparently felt like chains.
What they did was put it on Snapchat and flexed on Snapchat. How dumb do you have to be?
He did not see loyalty. He saw a cage, and the more he pulled against it, the tighter it got. The lick that went left. January 10th, 2026. Dallas, Texas, a recording studio on Dallas Parkway. This is where the whole situation went from beef to federal case. This is where careers ended and prison sentences began. According to the FBI affidavit filed by Special Agent Brittany Garcia,
the individual that's been charged has not had his initial appearance yet, but agents are actively working to locate and bring him to court.
Shiesty set up what was supposed to be a business meeting at the studio to talk about his 2017 contract with Gucci. 3 victims pulled up.
God, how dumb is this? How dumb are these f***ers? Yeah, I'm flexing. I mean, you're bragging about something you stole, not something you worked for.
Gucci Mane listed as RD in the court docs, plus 2 of his associates. They flew into Dallas with Gucci's head of security and another officer. From their perspective, this was a sit-down, a conversation, business between 2 men who had made money together for years. Around 1:45 in the afternoon, the victims arrived at the studio, which was inside a larger office building. The spot was closed when they got there. While they waited, the crew hit up a liquor store and grabbed bottles and red Solo cups.
This case really underscores the importance of standing up for crime victims, no matter who they are or where they come from.
Just vibing, killing time. Not a single person on Gucci's side, thinking that what was about to happen could actually happen. Nobody was expecting a lick at a label meeting. Behind the scenes, Shiesty's father, Lantrell Williams Sr., was blowing up the studio owner's phone, referred to as JN, in the filing. By 2:53 p.m.
They're facing a range, so there's no mandatory minimum in this case. It's a range of punishment, and it'll be in the province of the judge, whoever gets the case. But it could be from 0 all the way to life imprisonment.
JN picked up and learned that the whole session was being booked so Shiesty and Gucci could supposedly record music. The studio opened up, everybody filed in, the trap was set, and Gucci walked right into it because he trusted the man he had made rich. At around 3:39 p.m. a studio employee arrived and found Shiesty and his pops standing by the back door going back and forth on the phone about something. Then 9 Deep rolled into the studio control room where the victims were posted up watching a football game.
A lot of what will guide what's called the sentencing guidelines will be the individual's previous criminal history, the fact that one of these individuals committed the offense while on home confinement.
9, not 2 or 3 for a business chat. 9 individuals walked into that room and every single one of them knew what they were there to do. Shiesty was on the phone with his PO while sitting in a studio in Dallas, Texas, hundreds of miles from where his ankle monitor said he was supposed to be. He was telling his probation officer he had permission to be outside.
I don't like it for either side. You know what I'm talking about? Guwap most definitely didn't deserve that, and I don't want to see this for the little homie Pooh Shiesty, but...
That was a straight-up lie. The audacity of lying to your PO while you are in the middle of setting up a federal crime is a level of recklessness. From what the victims could hear, Williams was informed that this was not the case and that he needed to return immediately. Williams Jr. agreed. The PO told him to go home. He did not go home. Instead, he asked Gucci to step into a private recording room to chop it up about business. Gucci told him they could reschedule the session, but Shiesty was not trying to wait. Gucci agreed to the private talk. The rest of the crew stayed in the control room watching the game. One of the victims even offered Shiesty's boys some of the liquor they had bought. At least 2 of them took a cup and made themselves a drink. Everybody was cool. The mood was relaxed for about 10 more minutes. Inside that recording room, Shiesty pulled out pre-prepared contract termination paperwork and told Gucci to sign it. He came with the papers already drawn up. This was not a spur-of-the-moment thing. This was premeditated. Gucci said no. Shiesty got heated. The conversation escalated. One of the victims in the control room could see through the glass that things were getting aggressive and texted Gucci security in the lobby. Then the bag came. That bag changed everything. Shiesty told Big 30 to go get his bag. Big 30 left the room, came back with it, and Shiesty pulled out a black AK-style pistol and pointed it directly at Gucci Mane. He demanded Gucci sign the release right there at gunpoint in a studio with an ankle monitor on his leg with surveillance cameras rolling with off-duty cops on the other side of the wall. Now, this is felon in possession of a firearm. Okay, if it's a 924C, it's a 5-year mandatory minimum. But if it's used in connection with a crime, it's a 10-year mandatory minimum. And it's actually a consecutive sentence. So whatever your other sentence is, they add 10 years onto it. Unbelievable. 10 years stacked on top of whatever else comes. That is not a plea bargain number. That is not something a judge can adjust or reduce. That is a mandatory minimum written into the federal statute, and it runs consecutive to any other sentence he catches. Gucci signed the paperwork. Williams Sr. and Big 30 stood right there while it happened. Gucci was not allowed to leave the recording room. Big 30 allegedly pulled out his phone and recorded Gucci signing, forcing him to say on camera that he was releasing Shiesty from 1017. They filmed the man they were robbing and thought that footage would help them. Then they took it further. Shiesty took Gucci's wedding ring, his watch, his earrings, and his cash. They ran his pockets like it was a stick-up on any random block. This was not just about the contract anymore. This was personal. This was disrespect on the highest level, taking a man's wedding ring off his finger after everything he did for your career. Out in the control room, it was the same energy. The rest of the crew pulled out handguns and AK and AR-style pistols and started running through everybody's belongings. Rolex watches, chains, jewelry, wallets, all of it got snatched. One victim got pushed down onto the couch. Another got choked from behind. One co-defendant, McDaniel, kept threatening to shoot a victim for moving. Shiesty told him to chill. The fact that Shiesty had to tell his own boy not to shoot somebody shows how close this whole thing came to being a murder case on top of everything else. They bounced in multiple vehicles. No shots fired, but the evidence they left behind was enough to build a case 10 times over. Ankle monitor data placed Shiesty at the exact location. His GPS was tracking him the entire time he was there. Cell phone records and license plate readers confirmed the coordinated travel of all 9 defendants. His pops had rented one of the getaway vehicles under his own name. Surveillance cameras from the studio, a nearby office supply store, and the hotel where several of them stayed captured everything on video. Fingerprints from the crime scene matched 2 of the defendants. The feds had physical evidence, digital evidence, and surveillance evidence, all pointing to the same 9 people. Within hours of leaving the studio, the defendants were posting on social media wearing and displaying what appeared to be the stolen jewelry. One co-defendant had a screenshot on his page showing a Rolex believed to be from the robbery. They were flexing the evidence on the internet for the whole world, including the FBI, to see. Self-snitching at its absolute finest. The first thing they did was put it on Snapchat and flexed on Snapchat. One of the bags they took from the studio had an AirTag inside. The victims could track exactly where their stolen property ended up. Between the ankle monitor, the cell records, the cameras, the social media posts, the rental car receipts, the license plate readers, the fingerprints, and the AirTag, Shiesty and his boys left a trail so wide that even a first-year agent could have closed this case before lunch. Stupid games, stupid prizes. For nearly 3 months, The case sat sealed while the feds built their file. They took their time. They gathered every receipt, every frame of footage, every GPS ping. Then on April 2nd, 2026, they came knocking. Coordinated raids hit Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville simultaneously. 8 of 9 defendants were scooped up. Shiesty, his pops, Lantrell Williams, Sr., Big 30, and 5 others. One co-defendant is still on the run. The charge, conspiracy to commit kidnapping under 18 U.S.C. Section 1201. Federal kidnapping that carries a range from 0 all the way up to life. Not state time, not county time, federal time, where you do 85 of your sentence minimum with no early release for good behavior, shaving off major years. The Northern District of Texas held their press conference and they were not playing. This is a conservative district with judges who have zero patience for this type of foolishness. This case really underscores the importance of standing up for crime victims, no matter who they are or where they come from. The prosecutors emphasized the mountain of evidence, subpoena work, search warrants. The full weight of the FBI, the Memphis Police Department, and the Shelby County Sheriff's Office had been brought to bear on this case, and they were proud of how fast they moved on it. They're facing a range. So, there's no mandatory minimum in this case. It's a range of punishment, and it'll be in the province of the judge, whoever gets the case. But it could be from 0 all the way to life imprisonment. And then the prosecutor dropped the hammer on Shiesty specifically. A lot of what will guide what's called the sentencing guidelines will be the individual's previous criminal history. The fact that one of these individuals committed offense while on home confinement. Catching a new federal case while you are literally still serving time on your last federal case is about as bad as it gets in the eyes of the court. That is an aggravating factor that judges take extremely seriously because it tells them one thing. This person does not learn. This person does not change. This person had every opportunity to stay free and chose to throw it away. On April 8th to 9th, 2026, U.S. Magistrate Judge Renee Harris Tolliver denied Shiesty bond and remanded him to federal custody in Dallas. The judge pointed to the firearms, the potential life sentence, and the ankle monitor violation. Shiesty was not going anywhere. And here is the kicker that makes the whole thing even more tragic. The contract he forced Gucci to sign at gunpoint, it does not count. Not even a little bit. Contracts signed under physical duress are voidable under U.S. law. The coerced party just has to disaffirm the signature and it is as if it never happened. No court has validated that release. Entertainment attorneys across the board confirm the original 2017 deal is still fully in effect. Shiesty blew up his entire life, dragged his father into a federal conspiracy case, put 8 of his boys in handcuffs, and caught enough charges to put him away for the rest of his prime years. All for a piece of paper that has 0 legal weight. The contract he was trying to escape. He is still on it. On April 10th, 2026, one day after the bond denial, Gucci Mane made his move. He dropped Crash Dummy produced by Zaytoven and the bars left nothing to interpretation. The key line hit like a sledgehammer. Tell the truth, you went out like a real crash dummy. And after all that, boy, you still signed to me. Gucci compared himself to Birdman running Cash Money. He called the meeting a setup. He said, "You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes." He rapped about people taking his kindness for weakness, about smiling in your face and then stabbing you in the back. And most importantly, he made it clear to the world Shiesty is still on 1017. The forced paperwork changed nothing. The lick failed. The contract stands. The culture was split down the middle. Some people saw Shiesty as an artist who snapped trying to escape a bad deal. A label slave who went about it the wrong way, but whose frustration was real. Others saw it as pure disrespect, biting the hand that fed you, running up on the OG who gave you your whole career and took you from Memphis drill to platinum plaques. Shiesty is 26. He had platinum plaques on the wall. He had a record deal that most artists coming out of Memphis would give anything for. He had money, fans, and the one thing the system almost never gives back, a second chance. If convicted, he faces decades or potentially life in federal prison. His pops is facing conspiracy charges for helping plan the whole play. Big 30, his day one collaborator since before either of them had a deal, is looking at the same. 8 other men are staring down federal time because one meeting could have been a phone call to an entertainment lawyer. The case is expected to go to trial in 2026 or 2027. More evidence will come out. Full surveillance video witness